Good evening. It's Sunday, 9 p.m. Welcome back to Where the Hours Sleep. It's another episode of the Parliament. Stocky, how's it going, mate?
Yeah, all right. Ain't had West Ham to spoil my Prem weekend so far.
Yeah, just going to hopefully not spoil the start of your week tomorrow evening.
That's all right. I'm used to it.
Yeah, well, I've had my pain this weekend, so yeah, I'll try and avoid talking about that as much as possible. Hopefully, no one else watched the game, so there won't be much talking points.
I just saw the highlights for that lovely little flick.
Yeah, two good finishes to be fair to Welbeck, but we'll get onto that.
Yeah.
As always, we have others with us, starting with this man. Technically, no football for Bolton this weekend, but a good win midweek for your guys. How's it going, Jack?
Yeah, a sensational win. Yeah, it is the first time in our 140-year history that we have scored 2 injury time goals to win a game. So, yeah, officially history there. So, yeah, amazing. Didn't feel too great on Friday morning. So, it is confusing, a Thursday night league game, though. Very confusing.
Yeah. Well, we still have that lined up. As much as there was no Bolton game this weekend, we will get into that in a little bit more depth in a bit. But then we also have John, who had a quite frustrating game yesterday.
Yeah. I've spent pretty much since about 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon Googling if there are any existing curses or hexes on Southampton, or just sort of having some like inner reflection, wondering if I've done something to like cause one. But it was frustrating is one word for it, I suppose. But yeah, I'd imagine we'll get onto that. I think on your one, Mitch, I saw a lovely little parody Twitter account that said something along the lines of like, all 39 of Danny Welbeck's Brighton goals have come against Newcastle. I quite enjoyed that one.
I was watching a little bit of build-up, and someone said Danny Welbeck has not scored at the Amex in like 9 months or something like that.
Yeah,
I was
February.
like, you prick. Why have you got to say that just before kickoff? Because it was always going to happen as soon as he said it. And yeah, we went and scored twice. Typical.
Yeah.
It's funny how when people say these things against your teams, it always seems to happen.
100%.
Yeah. Well, we will get into all of that. As always, we'll talk about various other things through the evening. But this week, I do want to start with a little bit of... Oh, a sec. I've been opened in the wrong window. Okay. Right. I want to start with a little bit of England chat because obviously this was Tuesday evening. Yeah, Tuesday evening. England 5, Latvia 0. England have now qualified for the World Cup. Thomas Tuchel has took us through the group. I don't think we've conceded a goal, have we?
No, I don't believe so.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, hasn't conceded a competitive goal as England manager, which is quite some going, to be fair. Pretty impressive. What are your guys' thoughts?
But we did concede 3 to Senegal in our first match to it, didn't we?
Yeah. That was a friendly, though, wasn't
it? It was.
Yeah, it was. I would say it's great not to concede a goal, but perhaps those less learned summertime England supporters will get a little bit overexcited by that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like when you're battle hardened and you're just waiting for the disappointment, you're like, it's going to come eventually. It's just building you up. But on the other hand, I think Tommy Tukes has quietly improved the team. I can actually, like his first few games, you'd watch it and go, I just haven't got a clue what's going on. There's actually looking like some patterns of play now, and they seem to be singing from the same hymn sheet, which is good.
Yeah, it's always good when teams start performing well, but if they're looking at the table, 6 wins, 18 goals for, none against. As much as you look at the group and say there's not an awful lot in there, you've still got to go and win it, and he's doing it in a pretty impressive way, to be fair.
Yeah. Who are the last 2 games again? Did they really ramp up the goals?
Albania away is one of them.
Nice.
Is it Serbia at home, Albania away?
It feels like we have to play Serbia again. Yeah, I don't remember 2 games
Yeah,
against
Serbia at home.
Yeah, so you could really put a bit of the icing on the cake with a few more goals. Hopefully another couple of clean sheets, and then it puts us in good confidence going into the World Cup.
Yeah. Do you know what? I can't remember any of the goals off the top of my head. I can remember Eze's. I watched the whole game as well, which is pretty. I think it was just so comfortable. There was no jeopardy in it. But Eze's goal was quite good, mainly because Jared Bowen got an assist. Although he never does. He never does very well for England. Like, I'd hope he'd go to the World Cup, but during the qualifying, there's no point because he's not going to score or anything. It's just not going to happen. It never seems to drop to him.
Are you confident that he will go?
No, someone would have asked him by then.
You don't think you don't think he'll take Bowen?
I have a feeling he won't. Or do you know what? And it's not against what he'll do for West Ham, because he'll do what he does. Like, somehow, despite being a CAC team, he'll get like 15 goals, X amount of assists. He will probably have a record to equal a bona fide England starter at club level, but he just doesn't do it for England games, which is why I could see him picking someone else. If you know what I mean. Like, his club form deserves to be in the squad, but when he plays for England, it doesn't roll his way, if you know what I mean. He's like got 17 caps and 1 goal now.
I get what you're saying, but who else is out of England-wide players that actually even close to being performing? Because, like, people would probably say Gordon could be nailed on, but he's been useless for us so far this season.
Well, he's doing it the other way around.
Yeah.
Weird. So Rashford would be on the other side. Obviously, Saka starts on the right, and I could just see him taking the other one, Arsenal ball, Madueke. I could just see him taking him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
I mean, that hairline's had a number done on it since he took the job, hasn't he? God damn me.
Poison chalice, that's what it does. It turns out the poison just makes your hair fall out of all them poison chalice.
He's had a couple of those since he's done pretty well at club level. So
yeah,
it makes sense why he always wore a cap now, doesn't it? God, like that was shit. That's like finding the 50p when you're about to do the washing. You know, like, there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, well, it's been impressive stuff. So hopefully when we get to the World Cup, we can still look a decent side and put in some good performances.
What do you think is an acceptable World Cup?
Well, it always depends on the draw. Because people will look at it and go, yeah, Southgate got to finals and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, but who did we play? If we didn't draw the team that turns out to be the standout team of the tournament in like the last 32 or the last 16, and we go out and everybody's like, oh, well, he only got to the last 32. Yeah, but we got beat by the team that won it quite comfortably. You kind of got to look at it more that way than actually put a stamp on it. I'd like to say semi-finals at the minimum, but it all depends on who you draw.
Yeah. I think also with Southgate, like, people tend to forget that 2018, probably the most crucial game of that entire tournament for us was the fact that we lost to Belgium in the group stages, because that then sent us down a path where actually arguably that allowed us to get to the semi-final, whereas I think had we won the group, there's a very decent chance we wouldn't have done.
Yeah, very good point, to be fair. Very, very good point.
Or I always think like the flip side of that is, though, that you end up getting into these games and you've got a bit more about you and you can ride the positivity train somewhat.
Yeah, when you're consistently winning games, it does sort of breed a mentality within a group.
But there must be an extra knockout game, surely, in this World Cup.
Yeah, so it goes from whatever it is, 48 or however many teams are in it, 962, whatever, however many countries are in it this year, down to 32, and that's a knockout from 32 teams. whereas normally it starts at 32 and you whittle down to 16 from the knockouts.
Last one on England, I thought that Anderson Rice midfield looked pretty good.
Yes, have to agree with that. And as much as he wasn't great again, who did they have this weekend? Was it Chelsea? He wasn't great against Chelsea. I think Anderson is very quickly going to become the key man in that midfield because he complements whoever they're going to pair him with perfectly. He could do so many different roles in there.
Yeah,
it's an interesting one because you wonder with these, like we're talking about the momentum and like how results sort of breed confidence. It'd be really intriguing to see how Tuchel approaches the last couple of games in the group because there is that temptation, and dare I say it, there'll be big clubs where suddenly players are picking up certain knocks or strains or injuries that they might not suddenly go. Like it'd be interesting to see how he approaches putting that squad together in November.
Yeah.
Because really speaking, he's got an extra basically got a couple of free hits now, but does he try and use that to bed in what he wants his 11 to be, or is that going to be giving other players a chance, maybe like fringe players and so on? Like, be intrigued to see what he does.
I think managers have got to have a certain arrogance about him, and I think where he's got us playing well, the arrogance in him will want him to go through the group without losing and without conceding the goal now. So I think he still tries to go full strength. As long as the club managers don't try and pull out all their players, I reckon he'll go for it. Yeah,
that's my worry though. I always feel like particularly your clubs at the top end of the table, and that's just the historical thing, isn't it? Like, you get to these stages and suddenly your Rooneys and your Gerrards and all that start picking up little knocks and injuries, and they're suddenly fine by the next match day in the Prem. So
yeah. Hopefully we don't come across that. Well, it doesn't really matter because we're there, but hopefully Tuchel does get to do what he wants to do in the last two games, the next two games, should I say, because obviously he's got to learn a little bit more about the squad and maybe he wants to do tweaks with his full squad rather than bringing in randoms that he might not ever want to use.
Exactly, yeah.
But we'll move on from Tuesday, roll into Thursday. Over to you, Jack. I believe you was there. Huddersfield, Bolton.
I was indeed. Sadly, we're missing someone who will take the dig more personally than others on the pod this evening. But the replay of our striker, it's a great finish as well, great header to score the equaliser, just grabbing the ball, pushing the keeper into the net, going right up back to the centre circle to go again. Just beautiful stuff. And it's his first goal as well, so it's, I do acknowledge that will take someone quite a lot of mental strength. Right in front of both goals are right in front of the away fans as well in that half, so it was it was great. We deserve to win. Beat them on every single possible, including yellow cards, measurement.
That's the important
every
one.
single one was all us. We deserve to win, and I just thought it was another game that really we deserved to win, and I thought we weren't going to get anything out of it. So yeah, Cozier Dubre set up one and scored the second. Yeah, it's too good for this league. Considering obviously played the full match as well, started and still doing that. Then, I mean, League One is just weak this year. It's just weak. So I don't really care whether people get their backs up or people will get offended by it, but it's shit. Bradford shouldn't be top of the league. Stevenage shouldn't be second in the league. Like, it just is what it is. Luton should not be. I mean, I don't know where they are now. I'm guessing they're probably around 10th, Luton.
They were 11th going into yesterday, so they could be potentially lower than that.
Well, they must be lost, haven't they?
Yeah.
I still keep thinking they're going to come good. And then there's another big game on Saturday for Bolton, Cardiff at home. Don't see us facing many teams that are better than them at home this year. So yeah, it's good. It's a special moment. And my dad was saying, my mum was 70th last week, and we were talking about football and with people, and my dad was just saying, you go to the football for these little nuggets of joy, these things that happen, you know, that you still talk about. And, you know, that was one of them. I went there 11 years ago with my dad to watch it against Huddersfield. And I couldn't remember roughly when it was. My dad's 71 now, so he's getting on a bit. But he remembers because it was the first club that ever gave a seniors discount for only 60. So most of them are 65. I bet United's probably like 84. But yeah, 60. So he just was able to apply one. So it was obviously 11 years ago. And we scored. Big Darren Prattley, Big Dick Dazzo. Scored a quality goal. Really good quality. Really, really good goal. After about 5-6 minutes. And we lost 2-1. So I said to my dad at half time, I said, we were here 10 years ago or whatever. That happened. Let's see if we can win 2-1. So obviously, as it got to 91 minutes, I was thinking, what is wrong with me? But yeah, special moment. It's look, you know, we ain't going to win the big trophies. You know, we're miles off Premier League. Not even that. I'm sure I even want to go there. That's why you watch football at a level for those moments, especially if you're in the OA end. Yeah, it was class.
Yeah, it's one of them that the amount of times you potentially could leave early and miss something. It's that one moment if you sit to the end of the game that you think it's not going to happen, and it happens once every blue moon, and the one that comes around makes you realise why you sit to the end of the game every single time.
Yeah. And you know, I mentioned Dejan Charles to you last week, and I was just petrified that he was going to fucking score. As everyone was, can I just say, as soon as he came on, everyone was like, oh, fuck. But then full time, we were all singing his name. So it's quite brutal, really. In good nature, though, because we ain't got any bad blood towards him whatsoever. So we were all singing Agent Dion and so on and so forth. But I tell you what amazed me after the game that I've seen since is that Lee Grant, who is the manager of Huddersfield, said, I don't think Alfie May is a striker. Now, if anyone knows anything about our division, Alfie May is a fucking bagsman. He is the epitome of bagsman. And if your managers come out saying stuff like that, and also keepers as managers. Like,
cheers, mate.
Yeah,
I was going to say that Nuno.
Yeah.
Yeah, look. The only thing they will say they get right is usually sleeve lengths. Yeah, but other than that, I just can't accept it. I just can't accept it. It's like a fly off in rugby. I never liked them being captain either, because you just think, how can you bollock someone? Like, fuck off, mate. You take kicks. You're good looking for it. You're good looking for a start. Like, you know, you don't get to tell me to go to the coalface. But yes, they look like they're in trouble. I mean, Huddersfield, I think they've got the third highest playing budget in the league. It might even be second highest playing budget in the league. And I see, this is what I mean about the league. I keep seeing all these teams. It looks to be the more people have spent in our league this year, the worse off they've become. That's genuinely what it seems to be the case. And all these clubs that have come up and are riding that positive, you know, understandably so, you know, why would they not be, train, just seem to be doing well, you know, and
CC Liverpool with that comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
It is interesting, though. It is interesting because, as I say, I know I started by saying they shouldn't be the top, and I just mean just because of size and playing budget, etc. But Bradford look really good. I've seen some of their stats for the season so far, and I don't think they've lost at home since April. I mean, once you tick into 6 months of not losing at home, granted, you know, so we've had the summer break and that, they must just feel unbeatable, mustn't they?
Yeah.
It's interesting, Jack, because when we were down in League One, like years ago, and obviously we're going back to sort of 2009, sort of 2011 time, but I always used to look at it at that time there were kind of 10 clubs at the top of League One, and they were generally your ex-Prem clubs or your real sort of mainstays or dropouts in the Champo. But then it kind of felt like to me from about 10th downwards, the standard between League One and League Two wasn't any different. Do you think that's more the case now? More so the case now?
Well, I think all leagues have got. I think all leagues have got better. I mean, if you were to take the top 6 from National League and put them in League Two, they would thrive. I don't think they'd have. And I do believe if you were to look at those divisions from 10 years ago, and I wouldn't say that. I remember National League being, even 5 years ago, you go up and you get tonked. And I know more clubs have turned professional. I think there's even some professional clubs in like National North and South.
Yeah.
I think that it's just compressed. And I think the gap between 1, 2 and National, roughly, obviously not from National to League One, I think the gap between those 3 has got closer, but the gap between League One and the Championship now feels equal to the gap between the Championship and the Premiership. You think about, Bolton beat Sunderland 4 years ago 6-0 in League One.
Yeah.
And they sacked the manager. And I have got some Sunderland mates, and they still thank me for it, which is always the most backhanded compliment. I usually receive, and I'm in like sky high Christmas buzz time as well when I see them. Like, remember when you beat us 6-0? Like, yes, actually, it was a high point of my life. But congrats on your Premier League win this weekend. So yeah, I do think, I don't know what it's saying. I don't know if it means that there's more of an average type player that is coming through the ranks. I don't know if it's intrinsically linked to salaries, because the League One average salary now must be quite high. But it's just mad. I think teams like Lincoln, who have never really spent and have always been in and around, like, I just feel it's got to be like one of those teams this year. I mean,
could
Bolton
it be the
won the
makeup
league
of the team? Like, because some of the teams that are spending more money on players that are more established and well known in the league, so they're paying them a premium. And then teams are actually doing better by bringing in younger players who are actually better than these players that are getting paid a bucket load of money.
Well, yeah, or signing League Two. So it used to be that in League One, your dream was getting your Championship players, and if you went to League Two to get your players, that was just seen as, so much of a step down. And now these teams that are coming up with those League Two players, or indeed are dipping back down to get them, they seem to be doing better. And I think it appears, basically, I think what I'm trying to say is the teams with drive and perceived lack of talent are thriving over the teams with these perceived to be lack of talents and better players. And at the end of the day, it's football, and it actually does mean fuck all. Football is football. Anyone could beat anyone on the day to a degree, of course. But I do think it's quite interesting, and they just don't look like stopping. Stevenage just don't look like stopping. Bradford just don't look like stopping. They just look like they're in great form. It's just so early in the season, though, isn't it? I mean, anything can happen. But it's interesting. I think if Cardiff keep going the way, and that they could potentially have the league sewn up. There's rumours about Bale investing in them as well. Which
I thought you meant playing for a second. I was like,
no, invested in them. I did read an article with Bale in this weekend, though, talking about one of his biggest issues was that he would run out of money when he retired, which is why he's diversified his investment portfolio. I just think, who do these cunts think they are? You don't get to say things like that.
Yeah.
You just don't. You're just not. It's just irrelevant, mate. You don't get to say things like that. So
how many sets of golf clubs do you really need? Bad.
Yeah.
Pink kit as well.
Yeah.
All pink too.
Wait, wasn't it you a little while ago that was saying that you hope you threw it in the bin and never wore it again? Or am I going crazy?
It's probably any one of our kits that we've worn, to be fair.
Yeah, we should just get rid of all of them.
Yeah. Just go straight shirts and skins.
That's getting a little bit like our green kit that we wore yesterday. I don't think we've ever won a game in it.
But there has actually been studies behind wearing, well, the color pink in general, like scientific studies that it's now scientifically proven that it's hard to get yourself to a usual level of aggression and emotional energy. It's just that's 100% true. It's 100% true. There's NFL teams and there's college football teams that the away dressing room is pink because your mind. I don't know what the psychology aspect of it is behind it, but it is meant to stunt your ability to get to a push yourself limit.
Oh.
Which also makes a mockery of it, seeing as you can't really push more than 93rd and 96th minute, can you? So that shuts me the shut up. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there must be something intrinsically behind it, but I can't. Yeah.
But also going triple pink with a pink underlayer, I'm really not sure about that.
Well, you might as well double, triple, and quadruple down if you're actually going to do it.
Yeah, ask Nike if they can sort you out a pair of pink boots for away games.
Yeah.
It's a shame Alfire's not knocking about. He'd probably have some somewhere, wouldn't he? You know.
Okay, before we roll into the Premier League weekend, what was this all about? I've seen it sort of bannered around. I'm sure this is from your game on Thursday night, but I can't. What
yeah, it is, and I do feel for Huddersfield fans here. I must be honest, because apparently he does joke. I think he's the groundsman or something, and he does this every game as a joke. I mean, I didn't see it at half time because I was obviously buying a pint. And also, shout out to Huddersfield, 2 pinters in the away end. That's rascal territory. Completely unnecessary, unwarranted, unneeded. A 70p discount for it as well. You know, you're not talking about the usual 10p or something daft. Yeah. So a 70p difference to get it. It was 4 degrees, so I mean, not sure it's needed, but well done Huddersfield for that. I think all clubs should embrace that. But yeah, so I didn't see this because obviously my head would have been on this fucking Jupiter. But yeah, apparently they do it all home games. They lost the last home game to Stockport, and Stockport were down to 10 men as well for most of the game. So I mean, if you're the manager, you just be going up to him saying, "Don't do that shit ever again."
Yeah. Well, I thought it was just a one-off, but if it's something they do all home games, it just comes across as one of the most bonkers things you could possibly do.
And it was even more annoying because when we were on the way back, I was on the train. I was trying to just find the fucking highlights of the game on Sky, and all of it was just news articles linking to a 17-second video of a guy going around his rake. I'm like, what? I was there. What is going on?
He didn't even have any shots before it.
Yeah,
he was at 18 to 30s on the day.
Yeah, mate, it was
snorts a sambuca down a pint and take his.
Yeah, you got to spin round it, run around the pool.
That probably would have been slightly more interesting, to be fair. Okay, into the Premier League stuff. First game of the weekend, Saturday at the City Ground. Chelsea Forest. I actually thought Forest played quite well first half, and they probably deserved to be 2 goals up.
Yeah.
And it didn't quite end that way. Ended up losing 3-0. And not long after, probably the quickest sacking in Premier League history from a few different aspects.
After a game, I think Avram Grant was sacked in the tunnel.
Yeah, but he must have Ange must have been sacked in the tunnel as well, surely.
Yeah.
He literally just ushered him down out some fire escape and into an Uber, and that was him, gone.
I think what they said on BT was that he went into the home dressing room, spoke to the players. He then came out and was summoned to somewhere up the other end of the corridor, and then the next thing you knew, he come out of a rucksack and he was in his car. So it was, he got to the play. He got to the players at least, but
okay,
yeah,
It was funny because one of the players said in their interview, I think it was Gibbs White, because he was having that interview just before all of that happened, and he was like, "Yeah, results. We're just not putting it in the net, but we can see the improvement as a squad." And then the geese walking out the door like 5 minutes later.
Yeah, I've heard so many different stories around this because I also heard that Marinakis went to talk to him, but not sack him. And they actually had like a full-on, full-blown argument about it and nearly came to blows. So he just sacked him there and then. See,
I thought that was just like that was someone just sort of clickbaiting. I didn't know whether that was actually true or not. Because I thought I thought it was Edu that had the conversation with him because Marinakis had left. But I think, like he said, I think there's multiple accounts of this, so it's hard to know what is actually true and what isn't.
Yeah, everybody's just running with it because you haven't seen Ange since, you haven't seen Marinakis since, so people are just putting whatever spin on the story they want to get the most clicks, I think.
Yeah. I did see one article, the one about him that he's going to be, he's looking at potentially installing himself as manager. I mean,
yeah, no, that would be hilarious.
I mean, how is there not a crowdfunder for that already?
Crowdfunded by all the other clubs in the Premier League apart from Forest fans.
And I'll be honest, mate, me personally, I would really donate to that. It's the stuff I want to see.
Wait, is that better or worse than Ed Sheeran giving himself a squad number?
No, the squad number is worse for me.
You might have the dough, but I'm not overly convinced Ed Sheeran could have me offed overnight. Marinakis does have the dough, and I also think he could have me offed overnight.
Probably wouldn't even be overnight, mate. Nottingham's not that far.
No. Yeah. Wait, hold on a second. I've just got a message off someone.
Someone's at the door. Give me a minute.
Yeah. The next gyros you order will be your last. Hey, what a way to go, though, to be fair.
Yeah, get some extra halloumi in it.
Yeah, too right.
You know what, though? Like, going back to that game,
it would probably be enough for me to keel over, to be honest.
Just going back to that Gibbs White interview, though, because now that I think about it, now that he was standing there saying, like, "Oh no, we can see it all coming together," do you think that's like another one where he signed his new contract and there's just someone behind the camera looking really menacing, like sharpening a knife as he's going? Like he's probably having to say these things, you know, like he's learned his lesson.
He's got his own personal teleprompter just walking around with him at all times.
Yeah, that Simpsons episode where Smith has got the gun on someone going, "Yeah, that's it. Just say the lines." It's just like...
Well, have you seen the Ryan Yates interview by any chance?
I saw some of it. It was on my.
So I saw. The reason I saw it is because I do. I've got a few mates that are Forest fans, and a few of them had replied to it, and then I looked at it, and it was loads of people replying to it, and they were all basically saying the same theme, saying clearly therein lies the problem. And Ryan Yates mentions Marinakis in his interview, just saying like, you know, there's a plan right from the top, right from Mr. Marinakis, and everyone's like, you know, whoever talks about a chairman, like ever, are there any other clubs that ever just discuss their chairman?
No, very rarely.
You don't care at the end of the day. You're a fucking footballer who there's nothing to do with you, and you just think. But I mean, it was.
I'd say the last team were like Chelsea players and Abramovich.
Yeah. Well, they'd first name him as well.
Yeah.
Now he's a motherfucker that could have you off. So I mean,
I was going to say
fucking sir, mate. So yeah.
But that's practically what they're doing with Marinakis, isn't it? Because everybody calls him Mr. Marinakis.
But it's also relatively fun to say, though. So I guess if you're down in the doldrums, just saying Mr. Marinakis. Don't say it 3 times, so here he appears. But but at the end of the day, though, he needs to shoulder the blame because everyone thought this was going to be an absolute shit show. It's categorically not what Forest needed. It was a terrible decision to appoint him, right?
Yeah, 100%. And everybody from the outside looking in would have said that it was never going to work. 1, Postecoglou's useless, and 2, it's literally turning your style on its head.
I'll tell you, it's amazing though, Mitch, because there's so many people that I know that are staunch, sort of like Postecoglou's been hard done by. He needed at least a window. He was hard done by at Spurs as well. And it's like, mate, he's 26 of his last 43 Premier League games he's lost. I don't understand how we're having this conversation.
Yeah, that hard done by stuff needs to disappear.
Yeah. If you want to fall on your own sword, fine. But it's similar to that Russell Martin principle. It's like, if you're going to set your teams up to not be competitive in games, or like you're going to give yourself as little a chance of winning a game as possible, then yeah, like you kind of get what you deserve. But
yeah, I can't be agreeing with that hard done by stuff. He's just not very good, and my view on that is never ever going to change unless he comes and does something magical somewhere in the Premier League. But away from Postecoglou briefly and onto this guy, as much as he's done well for Forest at times, don't you think he's just completely undone most of the good work that he's done leading up to this?
Yeah, quite simply. Whether or not he decided, or because he got Edu in from Arsenal, so ultimately it's always going to stop at him. And I wish I knew a Forest fan to see how they feel about it and talk to them, because they must be livid. Because they were probably singing his praises when he was overspending and paying the fines to do it.
Yeah.
So he just probably thought he was untouchable and he could get away. He didn't think he touched turned to gold, but it's gone quite the opposite.
I think crucially with this as well is that we're coming off the back of, for all intents and purposes, I know there would have been Forest fans that had their eye on the Champions League spot last season, but even realistically, just qualifying for Europe, and then by the means which they managed to get to the Europa League, but this really should have been the year to build on that. And like you said, it is completely undoing it, because you're going from what you had with Nuno, you've tried a completely different style and you've fallen spectacularly on your face with it.
And then with Daesh. So he's going back to it.
That's what I mean. He's going back to a different, basically going back to, mad. Absolutely mad.
He's got this grass is always greener idea. You just keep chopping and changing and you'll never get anywhere. Funnily enough, though, they've still got a good squad.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the squad they've got. It's quite a talented squad and it's quite well stacked as well, to be fair.
But rich enough to be kind of naive from a tactical perspective, like that's what it sort of strikes you as.
Yeah. Well, I, for one, are going to be hoping that he decides he's taking the job himself, because that would be hilarious.
That'd be brilliant. His presses would be unreal as well.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think
any reporters left, if they all haven't mistakenly been found at the bottom of the fucking Greek Ocean.
In the Trent, yeah.
Go to North Korea for some safety.
Oh, Christ, we're going to get cancelled very soon. Okay, here we go. Next one. John, over to you, which we touched on briefly earlier. A frustrating early kickoff for you on Saturday. I haven't seen the highlights or anything, but I've had a look through the stats. And
did you see the bits that I put in the group?
Oh yeah.
I mean that is your best. I mean, to be honest, it's massively 2 points dropped, in the sense of we genuinely controlled the game. Over that 90 minutes, the vast majority of it we were very much in control of. But you can see how this Ross Stewart injury is going to massively impact the plan that he's got. It was interesting because a couple of weeks ago after Derby, I was talking about how vulnerable we looked in the kind of fullback areas and that. And the big change that he made to the team was he literally changed both of the fullbacks. And it was like, okay, and which follows a pattern. I quite like the cut of his jib in terms of the things that he does change. Because it's very much almost like things that I'll identify as like watching the game, just being like, yeah, this isn't great. He seems to respond to that, and I'm like, oh, this is different. He kind of almost watches the same game that a lot of us do. we were much better yesterday. Like I couldn't fault us from a defensive standpoint. That being said, I don't think Swansea they didn't look amazing. With what they had on the ball. We genuinely, you would believe, if you watch that game, you would believe we are cursed in terms of putting the ball in the back of the net. And I think Stocks described this at one point last season as being bad in both boxes, which is a completely fair statement over the last kind of 2.5, 3, 4 years maybe. But I think just the. It's just gun shy is the way to describe. You're not going to I keep trying not to sort of put you off before Saturday, but if you're expecting it to be raining goals, it won't be from the away end in that sense. It's Cameron Archer's not a focal point, bless him. So trying to use him as that focal point is difficult. Really interesting. The guy that I said about a couple of weeks ago, he's 11 touches and 7 times he gave the ball away.
Yeah.
Despite being the most kind of natural, what you would call a focal, it did not even get off the bench yesterday, even when we were in search of a goal. So again, really interesting to see what he's seeing as well. I think we've got to somehow get through to January, find a way to burgle a few of these draws into wins and see what we can do in terms of bringing in a focal point. I've not given up on promotion whatsoever, but I think we've got to be more realistic and think it'll be a latter season charge towards the playoffs rather than it would be an automatic stretch at this point.
Well, to be fair, after 10 games, you're only 5 points off the playoffs.
Yeah, which I don't think is a disaster. It's just when you go through, I think it's 2 wins, 2 draws, and then 2 wins, 2 losses. Everything else, the remainder are all draws. So it's looking at a lot of them draws and going, there's a lot of 2 points dropped in there as opposed to, I'll take a point. I think the first away of the season was a point at Ipswich, and it was in the grand scheme of things, you take that. But the point away at Derby, the point at home yesterday, I think there was another home draw in there somewhere, and it's all of those their games were really, we've just not been good enough in the final third. The Pompey one was another one, just not good enough in the final third. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. So. I've got a lovely little trip to Bristol Tuesday night, which I'm looking forward to. Well,
is that in the league?
Fun. Yeah. Well, there's a whole league, whole set of league fixtures midweek, which seems to always be the case when there's Champions League games. So I'll be missing out on Arsenal Atletico or whatever it is, and settling for watching us instead in Bristol.
Nah, go to football. Better.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Who wants to listen?
You're missing out on Newcastle Benfica.
Yeah, that's a good shot. Oh, Newcastle and Jose. Yeah.
Newcastle Benfica Tuesday night. That's the game.
Do you know what it is? I haven't got BT, so I'd have to plump for the Amazon one, which I'm pretty certain is the Arsenal one.
Go to Bristol then.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'll be off to. I mean, that's on the box as well. To be fair, so I'm just putting myself through it. I've never been to Bristol, so the actual ground anyway. Sorry, so yeah, looking forward to that one. And then obviously we've got our little venture on Saturday.
Nice. Have you got? Because one of the guys I work with, his 2 boys have got an app that they tick off the grounds. Have you got that?
Footology, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got that. Yeah.
My mate
play
is
like
an absolute slut for it.
Yeah, I do you know what? I'd always looked at it, and then I think it was in August. I went, it's a tenner for the year. Go on, then I'll do it. And it is quite something, man. Because you can go back through. You could search it by team and go through the years and all of that. So I think my ground counts.
Historically.
Oh, you could go, but dude, I was going back to my first Saints game was in September 2004. And I was going all the way back to then. You can go all the way back.
Oh, but that's going to depress me, so I can't do that.
Yeah.
Back all of the defeat.
No, but you know what made me laugh, though? Because as I was going through season by season, you start reminiscing about some of the hilarious days out, even if the game was a load of pony. But it's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing, the Footology app. And then like even being able to go and find like random Austrian games and things like that I've been to, and like strange stuff, like the database that you could search is bonkers. It's like,
well, on that note, mate, I'm going to be in Austria on Thursday night watching football.
do it.
Right, yeah, I'm going to watch Ferencváros against the dirty Red Bull bastard Salzburg.
Oh God, you're not actually joking. Sorry, I thought you were being sarcastic, Jack.
No, mate, no, I'm going. I'm going to.
Good lad.
League. Yeah, so
brilliant. Saturday's going to bring you down to earth so hard.
I'd suggest Sunday's going to be my issue, mate. I suggest Sundays is going to be.
I'm just thinking of the potential of Jack coming into Ewood Park with the steam already rising from his head from watching Bolton, and like,
I'm already thinking of if it goes horribly wrong, how the hell am I getting Jack to Ewood Park?
Yes.
Well, look, the worst thing is
he'll be there before me and John.
Well,
yeah, that's it.
Good shout, actually. We'll probably see you in the concourse for a beer about 2:00. You know, like.
Yeah. So my rule of 2-0 down off to town. I mean, it's really quite grim to say 2-0 down off to Blackburn, isn't it?
That's a new
2-0 down off to Blackburn in time for kickoff.
2 or 3 went off to Ewood. You know, that's not so bad. Like.
Oh mate, if Saints are 2-0 down, I'll tell you what, lads. I'll go and check you in. I'll take your bags. I'll see you in town later on. Yeah. I'll put a couple of chocolates on the pillows.
Will they actually be chocolates though?
I can say where from, which orifice? You know.
I don't think that's a lid.
Well, it sounds like there's an interesting week of football ahead. So.
Oh yes.
Yeah, Saturday.
Next Sunday show will be a collector's item, I think.
Oh yeah, 100%. We're gonna have to catch up on everything that's happened between Bristol, Ferencváros, Bolton, and Ewood Park. 100%. Right. Unfortunately, we're having to roll on to here. My depression yesterday afternoon. As much as I kind of knew it was coming, because we still have never beaten Brighton at the Amex in the Premier League, which is a bonkers thing to say out loud. I was quite optimistic going into this, thinking that we would not concede more than one and we'd score one. So I thought, right, we're going to come away with at least a point. And then some dickhead on commentary before the game decided to say that Welbeck hadn't scored at the Amex since February. And then I was just like, right, Welbeck's definitely scoring. And he got a brace. So, yeah, I actually thought both teams were pretty... Well, Brighton were good. I thought Brighton were really good. They deserved to win. We didn't play that well. Second half, we were a bit better. Got the goal. Looked like we potentially could have got a winner, but they got through us with the same pattern of play all game, which was the most worrying thing for me. But it's the Amex, so we kind of write that off as Newcastle fans. Hopefully it is just a blip more than anything, and we can pick up going forward from here. But I don't know if anybody else saw bits of the game or any of the game or anything like that.
Just match of the day, mate. On a bright note, I thought Mada's goal was lovely.
Yeah. Exceptional finish. Exceptional finish. So I'm going to go to this picture as you said that, because I was going to go Welbeck first. Yeah, he didn't have much of... He wasn't in the game all that much, but it's just a moment of pure magic, really.
Yeah.
Out of not really anything. Like Miley's played it across, it's a little bit behind him, and he sort of shifted his body in the way to get a little flick into the corner.
Do you remember when Kanu done that up at Middlesbrough for Arsenal?
Yeah.
I always remember that one, yeah. It was a lovely goal. Unfortunately, didn't really see too much of Newcastle on the highlights either, really. It felt like it was more Brighton. Like you said, it picked up in the second half. I don't think there was a Newcastle highlight in the first half, but...
We should have the first of the game, because Bruno should have scored in like...
Oh, yeah.
Heard that on the radio. Yeah, on the radio, said Bruno should have scored 6 yards out. I think it said on the. It
was more pen spot than 6 yards out, but he should have scored. He did a little shimmy, took two players out of the game, and then just passed it wide.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So
fine lines, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Bit of a frustrating afternoon because we're lacking at fullback at the minute. We've got Trippier, who looks like he's on his last legs, and Dan Burn back at left back because both Lewis Hall and Tino are out. So we're losing a little bit of our dynamism down the fullback areas, which is frustrating. And I think Joe Linton's deficiency stood out like a sore thumb yesterday. He's good at running up and down and winning tackles, but yesterday he wasn't winning tackles. And when we got the ball to him, he just kept giving it away. So,
time for Ramsey. I did see through the Owls account, like there was a Newcastle thing, and there was a picture of Ramsey. And they were like, I'm pretty sure he's saying to Hal, why are you still picking Joe Linton over me?
It shouldn't even be Ramsey for me. It should be Lewis Miley. Miley came on at half time and in the second half was our best midfielder. He looked like the Lewis Miley of the season. He got thrown in at the deep end and was driving forward with the ball. Everything was a forward pass. He was being risky with it, whereas last season it looked like he'd regressed a little bit and he was being way too safe with everything. Yesterday, he looked mustard again. So for me, it has to be him.
You home or away midweek?
Home, St James's Park. So hopefully another win there, put us in a good position in the Champions League. And then next Saturday, we have Fulham at St James's Park again. So 2 wins from them. Hopefully we can get to playing a little bit better. And then we're very close to having Lewis Hall back as well. Johan Wissa's back on the grass as well. So things are looking a little bit brighter on the injury front, but not a very good.
I thought Wissa was out for ages.
No. He's back running on grass. So he'll be back in training potentially this week, maybe next week, which means he's due to be on the bench just before the next international break for him to go away and get injured again.
Thanks for clarifying that he's running though, because you sounded like his dealer the first time round. It was like
before we move on from the Newcastle game, I just want to speak about the guy that got the 2 goals.
Yeah.
Danny Welbeck. I think it's 14 seasons in a row he's now scored in the Premier League. And there was a discussion last week when I was on the Rival show about is he underrated? And I sort of was like, not really, because everybody knows what Danny Welbeck's all about and rates him where he should be. But I just wanted to get your take on it.
Who's first?
model professional, I guess, is the way I'd describe him. Like maybe I suppose he came along at a bit of a weird time, like in terms of Man United, didn't he? So he was never going to be getting in with what they had at that time. But could he? Is Brighton his ceiling basically?
I don't know. You see, when I watched him play yesterday, he's just so good at doing a job for the team. I don't think he's always good at what he does. Unfortunately, as a striker, you're always marked at goals, and perhaps you could say over his career he hasn't got enough of them. But he strikes me as a forward that always does the proper basics of holding the ball up, gets others involved in the play and things like that. And there ain't I don't want to jinx it, but no sad pricks made up a metric for that yet.
Yeah.
But he would be top marks for that. So I think his overall game is very, very underrated, but he's kind of maybe not the goals would even it out. What I was thinking, if he has a cracking season, right, would you have him as a backup to Kane? Because Watkins ain't really scoring. Who else has been playing up front for England?
Well, the only other thing really get caps is Solanke, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think Tony will come back in January for like I could see him ending up at Spurs and trying to make a play for a place.
Yeah. Well, I'm just chucking it out there because if Plan B, you remember when England always used to have the Plan B of Crouch and or Carroll?
Yeah.
Because essentially you just need someone to come on for like 10-15 minutes when you're saving Kane's legs for the next game.
Yeah, that's true. And they're all much of a muchness, to be fair. I don't think there's much in it between all of them players.
I really like Watkins, but unfortunately for him, he ain't getting many goals at the minute.
No, he doesn't seem to be playing very well at all. Either his build-up play seems to have gone off the boil a little bit as well.
Yeah, and what you would say is England have got all them good players sort of out wide, number 10, like Eze, Palmer, Saka, Rashford, Gordon. There's a lot of players there that, if you load the gun, there's quality in the final third. You just need to make sure it stays there when Kane's not on the pitch. So could be something in a few months' time to talk about if he carries on playing well.
Yeah, very true. Good point. Okay, on to the next one. Another 3 o'clocker from Saturday. We'll talk about this because I believe City are going to form a big part of the title race. Had it again. Erling Haaland, another 2 goals. I saw little bits of their game and I thought they looked pretty impressive. Again, to be honest, they seem to be slowly going through the gears.
I mean, it was 0-0 at half time. I was had Soccer Saturday on in the background in the pub, but it was 0-0. So you're thinking, Everton doing all right. And all of a sudden, bang, it was 2-0 in a blink. And I watched the highlights, and they could have racked up a bit of a score.
Yeah, City had 7 shots on target, something like 21 shots overall. They had a stupid amount of touches in I think that's something near enough 50 touches in the opposition box or something silly like that. So it was a very dominant performance, as much as it took them an hour to get a couple of goals.
Pickford played all right as well, but he didn't have no chance with the 2 goals really.
No.
The header and then the one that zipped through Tarkowski's legs, like a bit harsh digging out on that.
Yeah. He's an absolute monster, is Haaland. He's an absolute machine.
This is a bit of a joke, isn't it, really?
That goal last week, the one against, was it Forest? Where he was
Brentford.
just Brentford, where he just got the centre-half and just shoved him away. Like, no centre-half could deal with that sort of forward play anymore. If it was the early 90s, they'd be all right with it. But now, he just looks so hungry for it.
Yeah.
Where he didn't last year.
Because apparently he said with that goal at Brentford, he said something along the lines of he wasn't really up for it, and then suddenly they started sort of wrestling him a bit, and it just sort of got him into gear, and he just fancied it, and that's kind of where the goal came from. You're like, but that result, and then obviously the Everton result as well, it's kind of an example of how they're just getting on with it quietly, and no one's really talking about them at the moment. So I think everyone's really lost in this idea that it's going to be a Liverpool-Arsenal title race. And genuinely, I think give it a couple of months and everyone will see they're going to be right up out there. And I'm still of the opinion, I don't know whether Mitch is still going to hold on to this as well, but I don't think it will be a race by the time you get to March, April. I think they're going to go on one of their ridiculous runs and end up sort of winning it at a canter.
For me, they're already clicking into gear and they're too close. So I think they will run away with it in the end. I think it will still be similar to what I said in the prediction show of we'll have a 2, which I believe will be City and Arsenal. Then you'll have Liverpool kind of in a no man's land. And then you'll have another little batch of 3 or 4 teams chasing 4th place.
Yeah.
Last one I want to touch on this game. I brought the picture up slightly prematurely before. This man. No goals, no assists, but he played the pass before the assist for both the goals, and he's really starting to get back in a little bit of form, which is great news for England going into the World Cup.
Yes.
Yeah, I've always been a big fan. I know he got slated, but do you know what? It's always people that go around slating players, saying, "Oh, he's been dreadful. He's
he's washed. Yeah.
You know what? They have a whole life outside of the hour and a half on a Sunday afternoon usually now if you're Man City. Do you know what I mean? And I think it was well documented. The other stuff going on. He's a good player. I think he brings something a bit different to the other England players we mentioned earlier on, and I'll be delighted if he starts finding top form again. And maybe his resurgence is sort of pretty much in lines with City's. Just go about it quietly and just get your business done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, it could roll into a bit of a headache for Thomas Tuchel because say he gets him fit and firing, Eze comes good at Arsenal, then say Cole Palmer gets fit, gets firing again at Chelsea. It's a question of who do you play, where do you play him to get the best out of the team, because them three do not fit in the same side. In fact, even two of those don't really fit in the same side, so you've got to pick the side correctly.
Mate, with all of them, it would be difficult to set up 2 games in training.
Yeah, it's mad. It's bad. Mad to have so much talent and we still at times look a bit toothless going forward, as we have in previous years. Maybe not so much now, but we'll have to see when we come up against like really the bigger nations.
Yeah, Everton have been decent as well this year, so I think that needs to be added. Although they weren't allowed to play Grealish.
Yeah, I think that's key for them. That's a big drop off for anybody else. He's by far their best player, so I think that's kind of key for them. City have got a bit of a cheat code there that he can play and make them better against every other team in the league apart from City.
Yeah. Blame Loire.
Yeah.
His fault.
Yeah, well. Oh well. He did knock us out of Europe while doing it, so fuck Loire. Right. Still in Saturday. Late game, Saturday. Fulham Arsenal. I found myself getting a little bit bored of this game, to be honest. There wasn't an awful lot going on, and I kind of didn't watch it fully in the end. But Arsenal again, they've got another win. Don't look like conceding too many goals.
Another set piece goal as well.
Another set piece, and I felt like Fulham were probably good for a point, although the stats probably don't back up what I've just said. But it felt like that from the bits I did watch.
Arsenal are ruthlessly efficient. I think the longer it goes, the season, only thing that can get in Arsenal's way, really, obviously you've got the big, like the top of the table clashes, like obviously, but I think the only thing that could really go wrong is themselves. They get in their own heads. Oh yeah, and him.
I thought that's what you was going to say, so I tried to line it up as you said his name.
Yeah,
and then you went somewhere different.
Not necessarily him, but I'd say he controls the culture, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
he's a minor details man, isn't he? To the nth degree. I just see like it's only them that can shoot themselves in the foot because they are very, very good at the back.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, all right, they're not getting goals, but if you can keep just scoring the one goal and not concede any, you're going to go such a long way because they've still got gears going forward. Although, if you watched it, Mitch, how was Gyökeres? How was Gyökeres watched? The 2 gash Swedes.
Like that was going to be sort of my next question to you guys because I am now at the point, of I'm starting to think I am missing something because I think he's been rubbish.
He's been awful.
Yeah, but there's fans all over the place writing like dissertations on stuff that he does that's good, that make Arsenal a better side and how he played a part in the goal and all of this stuff. And I'm like, what?
Is that not just the day and age we live in now with Arsenal fans all over social media? Because they are one of the worst clubs for it, right?
Yeah, it could be. You could be right, but it just confused. I'm just like
a little bit confused. Working hard? Is he just working hard?
He's working hard, and he's like, do you know what people were criticizing Højlund for last season?
Yeah,
he's doing exactly the same things. Like even the Man United fans were destroying Højlund for it, and Gyökeres does the same thing. He's like a Greco wrestler. He just wants to initiate contact and knock people off balance, but not do an awful lot else. And even the chances he's getting, he's picking the wrong finish. And this guy's meant to be the goal scorer. He's meant to be just goals, but he's not goals. And now they're saying about how he does everything else well, but it's just I genuinely cannot see it, and I don't know if I'm blinded in some way, which is why I wanted to ask everybody on here.
I try and avoid watching Arsenal really because it's always quite a painful thing for my ears. Listen to a commentator fawn over them for an hour and a half. whether or not it's merited. Do you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it gets hard work. So I try and avoid it. I suppose I'll have to watch them at some point, and I'll give you a nuanced view of Gyökeres. But do you know what? He was, as you say, he was billed as the number 9 to fire him all the way, and he's not doing that. So, as Samir said the other week, he was like, "It's just Havertz in, isn't he?"
Well, he's not even Havertz in, because Havertz was always had good goals or assist return. Like he now hasn't got a goal or assist in, I think it's 9 Arsenal games. I think it's like 11 games on the trot in all.
Okay.
And his goals came against Leeds and whoever else it was early on. And it's like
one of them was a penalty.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you guys are agreeing, and I'm not just missing it. I'm not just blinded by the fact I kind of want him to fail.
I thought he'd do really well. I thought he would, smash it for them. I actually thought he was sort of the missing piece that he needed. But yeah, it's not gone well. But at the end of the day, because if they won the league and they didn't score another goal, they ain't gonna care, are they? But I mean, we will for hate watch purposes. But it's it's just not gone well, and everyone that said it wasn't going to go well has been proved correct at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, so far.
He needs a big goal for them, doesn't he? He needs to score a big goal, a winner, before anyone starts thinking he's having a successful move. But he hasn't had a successful move, has he?
Yeah, I think he's actually the point. He just needs a goal. Doesn't matter what kind, just any goal.
That Portuguese league tax that all the kids say on Twitter.
But yeah, that to be fair, Jack, you was one of the main reasons why I was starting to think I was blinded, because when we was discussing Gyökeres before, and I was saying I actually don't think he's going to be that good for you. He doesn't feel like an Arsenal striker. You was like, I think your hatred for Arsenal's kind of blinding what's going to happen.
Just to point out as well, I hate Arsenal. Yeah, please don't anyone think for 1 second I don't. I just thought, with the wingers that they've got, I thought it would be the perfect person to just do fuck all and actually score. But unfortunately, he's doing the fuck all and not scoring.
Do you know what? When you think about it, when you say the wingers, but both of their wingers are run to the byline and cut back on their stronger foot and square it, like lay it square and back to the penalty spot. Strikers will already be running to near post. So when you think about it, he's never going to get them tap-ins, because unless it's like, a bit of a scramble, because they always get to the byline usually and then cut it back.
Yeah.
He should already be 6-yard boxing then. And also he's got to catch them up. Because sometimes as a striker, you work too hard. You try and do too much, and then you're not where you need to be.
Yeah.
I would suggest it would be the intelligent play. I mean, if they don't do this, the intelligent play would be for Saka to say he's on pens, or to give him the pens.
What, you mean Starboy can't stat pad with your pen?
I would suggest it would be the wise decision for him to start stat padding before Saka.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, even there was a pen a couple of weeks ago and the Arsenal fans were complaining they didn't give it to him, didn't they?
Mm-mm.
Oh, God.
But again, that causes even more problems, does it not?
Yeah, no.
And also, if you've got a, inverted commas here, trademark celebration, you really need to be scoring to get that celebration out, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Like you do, though, don't you? If you want a trademark celebration, it's not for the kids to score themselves and then do your celebration. You need to be doing your own celebration.
Yeah. Well, it's just, it's a strange situation, because he has come in off like scoring something like 56 goals in 52 games to now not scoring in like 9. So yeah, maybe he will come good. Maybe this is just a blip. We'll have to see from going forward.
Maybe he's just got to ask the set piece coach to send the corners to him.
Yeah.
Maybe he's buttering up the wrong man. He's buttering up Arteta. He needs to get into the set piece coach. That's where it's at.
Right, let's move into today. And this game. Could call it a bit of a shock. I'm not massively shocked because, again, Schlott's system to me it's another one a little bit similar to Amorim's. Not going to work consistently. I don't think it's great at all. And I think we're now finally seeing Schlott's Liverpool.
They looked bad.
The game of no midfield. It was just defending and attacking, and nothing happened in the middle section of the field. It was weird. We've slagged off Amorim quite happily recently, but he made some decisions today that really paid off. I thought Cunha was bringing in Cunha was very good, and Maguire had a great game. Then gets the winner.
But to be honest with you, when does Maguire not have a good game?
I think. Do you know what? He was never worth the money, and he does the odd clanger. So basically, if someone's really quick, he gets ripped. But so did players like Vidic. Remember when like Torres used to do Vidic every game?
But sorry for not being born with fast twitch muscle fiber.
Yeah,
like,
you know what I mean? Do you know what? Man United, I think the problem, Man United still, the fan base still had the ideas of grandeur, but Maguire's just a good, solid centre half. All right,
I think even that does him a disservice. I think he's actually quite a good player, and to be honest with you, he's fucking mint in the box.
Yeah. So he is good in both boxes. It's when he gets out of those sort of ideal centre half positions, he gets sticky. But
I just think as well, what's the bit I never really understand is that I think he legitimately, really, genuinely gives a shit.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was so weird that they've sort of hung him out to dry so much, and he just never seems to. He's not seemed to have a bad game for them for about 3 years. I like him, mate, to be honest with you, only because he's also got a very large gynocopod skull like me. So I feel like honestly, somewhere our Neanderthal family have combined at some point, butted heads would be the polite way to put it, and probably most appropriate. But yeah, I like him, mate. I think he gets slagged off too much, and I don't think he's played badly for genuinely a couple of years now. So I mean, I just keep playing him. He just looks like he's going to score every single fucking chance for him.
Yeah.
When it comes in the box, comes in the
box. Shout out Bruno as well for the ball back in, because he's done a lovely job there, man.
Yeah, that is what I would call exquisite.
Yeah.
Like on when it's like raining like that, for the ball to spin out to you and you just to lift it back into that area first time on the volley, and it just not to go like fucking up into the heavens or into rosette. It's exceptional technique.
Yeah. Do you know what? The ball was that good and that early. Like, actually, like Maguire scored it, but I think there was like 2 other players behind him as well.
Yeah.
Looking at the ball was that good. It just cut out the entire Liverpool side.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that is top draw from Bruno. Considering it wasn't even like passed out to him, it just sort of skidded out to him off a deflection or something.
Which at 1-1 in a crucial game at home to your rivals, you shouldn't be in any position, despite how good a ball is, where they've got multiple players that are fighting to knock the ball into your net.
Yeah.
I just think they look crap.
Yeah, but then Liverpool and Schlopp himself, had created that situation, because I've said this a few times now, he's done what Southgate used to do when he was a club manager. Like, if it's all going wrong and your system isn't working, just chuck on all the attackers. Forget playing any normal formation. Just chuck all the attacking players on and hope that they get a goal. And that's all he does.
Gakpo aside, I thought their best attacker was Chiesa when he came on. Like, he was famously left out of the Champions League squad. I thought he looked quite handy.
That's been the case for a while with Chiesa as well. Because I mean, Salah's been stinking the joint up.
Oh God!
as well as the off Swede in the middle.
That chance Salah had at the back post.
Oh, where he took a touch and then still shanked it wide.
Oh yeah,
very un-Mo Salah. But as we had said previously, that all of these things start becoming a problem when you're pivoting away from your key man and the player's going through other players, and he's now not in his happiest place. This kind of thing starts happening, and we all said it on here that there's a problem coming because they've pivoted away from Salah being the key to everything. I think it was after the Charity Shield that we said it.
I mean, again, Wirtz has been dug out a lot. I thought he was decent when he came. Funny enough, today would have been a good game for him because sort of Man United in the first half had loads of people. It was like a very low block, like even the midfield were there. And McAllister and sort of Slobozai were just essentially just standing with the Man United midfield because there was no space and there was no inventiveness other than Gravenbach running with the ball from deep. They could have actually done with having Wirtz.
Yeah.
Weird.
And that all falls into slot because as much as we've seen bits and bobs from Wirtz and he's got a massive price tag, so he's going to be slaughtered every single time he doesn't get a goal or assist. The games where you don't play him is when he's up against a Baleba or a Paulinho that are just like physical monsters that will just chase him everywhere. Today wasn't one of them days. He would have been up against Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro, who he potentially could have ran rings around.
Yeah, it's in that they've got, I think, 3 weeks, I think early November or 3 or 4 weeks. They've got City away, Liverpool. Could be some big blows landed there if they don't pick up. I think they have got a couple of, obviously inverted commas, easy fixtures. Brentford away and Villa at home, which they're not the toughest. Granted, Villa won away today, but they're not. And then I'm sure that because the reason I saw is they play Real Madrid away, I think, or maybe at home, and then they play City away.
Yeah. I'd love it if it was at Anfield. You have Trent back there; it'd be beautiful stuff.
Oh shit! Yeah.
They off the back of 4 defeats in a row. They're away in Germany, which is Eintracht Frankfurt on Wednesday. Next weekend away to Brentford.
We'll be watching that.
Following midweek, home to Crystal Palace, who have already beat them this season. Home to Villa, away to Real, away to Man City.
Ooh.
How can they be playing Crystal Palace?
FA Cup.
League Cup.
Oh, yeah, the League Cup fourth round.
That was the only jarring thing about it is that I did see a graphic today where it was like their last 6 games and it's got a win at the top against Southampton. Everything else following it is a loss, and it's just a very, it's a lovely graphic to see from my perspective. But what could have been? Indeed, always have been.
Well, it's not like they didn't steamroll you, did they? So I mean, like,
no, of course not. No,
fucking stinky form, aren't they?
Yeah.
What did you think about that Man United's first goal with Alexis getting a clump on the head and the referee not stopping the game?
It all happened too quick. Like if the play had gone on for 30 seconds and he had it fallen back, then fine. But after the clump in the head, the ball's in the net like 10 seconds later, if not less. Like I don't think the ref can be blamed for that at all. As much as I like blaming referees for things, I don't think I can dig him out on
that. Man United's front three look really good. As I say, we've slagged off Amorim regularly and deservedly so. So unfortunately, I'm sure Jack would disagree, but you got to give him his props. And that forward three really did capitalise on Liverpool. And Buemo and Cunha were just running ragged. And as I've said, Man's been really good this year.
Again, we've said on here that when he plays, they look a better side. And I feel like that was the case again today.
Mm-hmm.
Although I did see some Man United fans digging him out for his team selection.
They always will. Do you know what? If you got that many supporters, you're bound to have several that know fuck all about anything.
They're similar to Arsenal again. Like what the point I made about Arsenal's online presence, and like it's United. Obviously, it's going to be tenfold, really. So,
yeah, well, it's one of them things. Every fan base has got the idiots. It's just there's more of a platform for them to show how stupid they really are these days.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fortunately,
yeah, says us four.
Hey. Okay, we've sort of absolutely fired through everything this week. Apart from, I've got one more thing, because our adopted club, the mighty Mamelodi, 5-1 win in their Champions League.
Pretty cool name, though, isn't it? Remo Stars.
It is, yeah. It is. But yeah,
that is the most AI generated
badge
match. Match breakdown ever.
Intense match. The visitors were much stronger at times. Yeah, well, but it's good to see that they're winning. I think they're top of their league now as well, aren't they? They're top of their league in South Africa. They've got a 5-1 win in the first leg of the qualifying round to their Champions League. So, yeah, the mighty Mamelodi were all on. Shoe shine and piano football lives strong at the minute.
I believe Jack's got a tale from us. There was something he wanted us to remind him about.
Yeah, two things. Two things. So the first one is something I happened to see last night when I was just checking on Flash Score to catch up with the sports and teams that I follow. So shout out to Flash Score is the best thing, and I militantly love it. So on them, we would all see these apps. They have little cards next to the team when there's a red card. So I saw it and I thought, that's unusual. So I'm going to take us to Bolivia, which I'd fucking love to go to, but debatable whether, if we're worried about being cancelled on this, I'm much worried about not coming home from Bolivia, trust me. This was a game in the top division, round 20, between Blooming and Bolivar. He'd imagine if they got the balls to have a team name like that, probably have got a strong history. Third versus fourth. So I'll just talk you through it. Third minute, yellow card. 11th minute, yellow card. 15th minute, missed pen. 18th minute, yellow card. 28th minute, yellow card. 31st minute, yellow card. 33rd minute, goal. Home team, Blooming score. 39th minute, red card. 39th minute, red card. 39th minute, red card. 44th minute, red card. 44th minute, red card. So at half time, there's a missed pen. Home team winning 1-0. There's been 5 yellows, and most impressively here, none of the reds are second yellows. They're all straight off the bats. So it's 1-0 to the home team. They're down to 9 men. The away team are on 8 men. So the game starts again.
Just so everybody's aware, I had under 8.5 cards in the first
half. Yeah. So the 8 men score an equaliser. So it's 1-1, which has obviously enraged the home team because they get a straight red straight after that. Bolivar, the away team, chip in with a yellow. The home team think that's pathetic. We'll go for another straight red. So at this point, there are 4 red cards to the home team and 3 red cards to the away team. So it's 7 versus 8. So I'm like, I seen it and I thought it was live as well when I saw it. Because this is what I mean. When I saw it, I thought, what's gone on here? Because it couldn't show the red cards properly. I've seen 2 red cards before, but it just looked like there was an error on it. So I was like, that's weird. And I was like, no, there really has been 7 red cards. None of these are off the pitch either. They're all on pitch red cards. So it's 7 versus 8. Couple of cheeky yellows thrown in, and then a 92nd minute winner for the away team. So the 8 men score against the 7 men.
Fucking hell.
So I've been trying to find highlights of it.
Men.
Huh?
I didn't think you could even play with 7 men. I thought.
Well, that's our rule, isn't it?
Yeah, where's the threshold?
It's 8 or less, isn't it?
Right. On such a big pitch, you could have just agreed to go over goals or something.
Well,
just move the goals so you're at either end of the half.
Edge of the 18-yard box, and you just have the semi as the D.
Well, I'm trying to find highlights of it, and I'm really struggling because I've been thinking it can't be right. It just can't be right that it was 7 versus 8, because how could there not have been more goals? But I guess if you just have to go man to man at that point, don't you?
All the attackers got sent off. So was this yesterday or today, Jack?
Last night, mate. Last night.
I have to say, Jack.
Shit. No, sorry, I've just gone on the lineups. So for the home team, the keeper was sent off. 5 at the back. So I'm assuming. So the right wing, so the right back and the left back got sent off, and the centre mid. And then for the away team, the striker, who is number 99, called Battellini. So he just sounds a bag of fun, doesn't he?
Imagine if this was played live in Bolivia. You know, like over here, you get the little red card underneath.
Yeah.
I bet the graphics keys on the channel's going, what the fuck am I going to do here?
Yeah, serious. So, centre mid. Oh, the guy that scored got the straight red as well for the home team.
Scored and then just went and booted someone in the face like as a celebration or something.
Well, I've just been trying to. I just can't find it anywhere. The highlights.
Honestly, Jack, I have to say, like Sky Sports News' loss is certainly where the Owl Sleep's gained there, because that recap was superb.
Yeah,
honestly.
So
wonderful.
because I've also been thinking maybe there was an error and some of these were off the pitch, but it's linked me to the lineups, and no, it's not. So the striker got sent off, and the centre mid and the left back got sent off. And the left back got a score of 3.6 out of 10, which is really quite abysmally low.
Is that from L'Equipe?
Yeah. That's like the season high score in L'Equipe, isn't it?
Yeah. So I will keep trying to find highlights. I'm just hoping that I'm hoping there's some sporting director that's yet to sign off on it. I can imagine that would go on in Bolivia. The other thing I actually wanted to tell you about before I saw this last night, right? And I did see this on another pod, but on the basis that I don't care about anyone else but us, I'm not going to give them credit. I think I might have heard it before as well, but it was a good little video I watched, and it was about. I think I originally saw it on an American show years ago. And they were talking about the World Cup. And they were saying how the World Cup should just be treated as a knockout tournament. And how every single country on the planet that has a footballing union plays in it. Some of the bigger some of the bigger countries, like the FA Cup, do get to go in at least a round or two later. And then they're laughing and joking about it. And then they were saying, oh, yeah, because Saudi Arabia beat Argentina first game in the World Cup, didn't they? The year that Argentina won it.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking, well, South Africa, Switzerland beat Spain, didn't they?
Yeah.
First game of the World Cup when they won it. And I just think that would be a better World Cup. So, in theory, there's more of a chance you could get some serious fucking random countries winning the World Cup.
Yeah.
And I think they were talking about.
What?
Remember, like the Greece Euros win in 2004.
Yeah, 0-0, 0-0, 1-0, 1-0, 0-0. Like, just get me there.
Well, like, didn't Portugal win Euro 2016 without actually winning a single game in 90 minutes? It was. Yeah, so, but I think I think I know what you were listening to there on that, Jack. So I heard a similar thing on the podcast, but they were talking about it as in like being done in a way where like you draw it, so it's played in the countries like the home team. So like you could have something bonkers, sort of like I don't know. God, what you could have like Chad at home to sort of like Poland or something.
Yeah, I'm sure they use Mauritius or something and then you'd be like, I fancy Mauritius away.
Yeah,
Cape Verde.
Mind you, though, I'd never get away with that. That's like a legitimate. Georgia really isn't that dumb.
Just take her with you. Have a little holiday and nip into a game.
Yeah, well, that doesn't work at the best of times. Yeah. I said
I'm sure if you were in Mauritius and you're like, I'm just gonna pop out for a couple of hours and watch football, it's slightly better than doing it in Manchester and going to Bolton.
Yeah. We went to watch Playa del Carmen FC in Mexico, and she did turn around to me and say that's the last time I will ever go to a football match with you.
She'd be on the bandwagon for the playoff final this year. Don't worry.
She actually did go to that as well. She did go to that, and also said pretty much the same thing afterwards. And we lost as well, so I was like, well, neither am I. So what the fuck do you want me to? What do you want? Sympathy? But yes, it's safe to say second division Mexican football is for the purists and for the street smart. It's not for. It's not.
Your Footology app would be an absolute thing of beauty, Jack.
Well, I know it would. It would. Maybe I'll do it actually.
You should. I think on your flights to and from Hungary this week, you should try and update your Footology so we can go through it Saturday once we're in the pub after the 2 games.
I think the 4 of us should do it. It'd be a bit of laugh.
Mine would have about 8 fucking places.
Do you know what? I've watched more away games for bloody Orient and Burnley than I have West Ham. So.
Oh wait, can I include stadiums that I've played at rather than actually kind of?
I was thinking, YouTube is trying to get Hale End games in, isn't it?
Yeah. John, can I just say I've been to these stadiums, or do I need to find the actual game?
You could do either. I'm pretty sure. I think what it is when I did game by game, it ticked off the stadiums for me as I went. So then, like, there's all different parts to it. So you can click on we're doing a really good plug for a bit, but you can click on like my grounds. You can click on like my matches. Like it takes a little bit of fiddling around with before you start to get to know where everything is. But like, I'm just really
remember. So it's things like Derby. I remember. I mean, I'll be able to work it out very quickly from Google when we played Derby in the Premier League because
you could go back by the season. Like you could just go from Bolton, and it can go season by season, and you'll just be like, I was at that one, I was at that one, I was at that one.
When I've been to Middlesbrough away twice, I couldn't fucking tell you what year that was. I remember it was cold, which is absolutely no fucking assistance for me in Middlesbrough.
No, I was going to say, you're not narrowing it down.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So it's possibly August.
Yeah. I mean,
did you have a Parmo though? That's the real question. But
yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually, I didn't with my dad because he said it was disgusting and said who would eat one of those, and I was like, I know, fucking pigs.
I'm on my 3rd one.
I was like, I know, that's terrible. I know, but why don't you just put it in the barmy? Quite easy, wouldn't it? But okay, no, I will do that actually. I will do that.
I think I may win furthest game though. I've watched the Newcastle Jets, as in the Australian side.
Yo, okay.
Home against some side. That would bump up my miles. That would make up for the lack of West Ham away going and watching
Yeah,
that.
100%.
Okay. Right, Jack, check the group.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's it's an extended highlights. It's a 12-minute video. For those that want to see that bonkers game Jack was talking about highlights, link on the bottom of the screen as we are now talking. So if you want to look at it, copy that to wherever you've got to copy it to.
This would absolutely be like a Vinnie Jones hard man VHS, wouldn't it? This
I
game?
watched the first sort of minute, and the first red card is fucking horrendous.
James, I've just watched the first 11. I've just watched the first 7 seconds. The first yellow is a red card.
I can't wait to get sucked into this.
It is bonkers already, and I think there's 19 minutes of it. So yeah, it's not even like short highlights; it's extended. It should be enjoyable.
I don't know if you're going to have the same one, mate, but I've just clicked on the first comment to translate to English. And it is, and they complain when the duck says Bolivian soccer is amateur. The duck can only speak the truth. Now he can improve or deny it.
What?
Yeah.
Let's get him on the show. Get him on the show.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God.
Don't know what that means, but I'll try and figure that out.
Do you know what? There's me thinking, seeing it kick off with Birmingham, thinking, oh, that's good. That's what I want to see more of. And then Jack tells us about this, which is blowing it out of the water.
Yeah. Someone's. Have you seen what happened about Hull's manager?
No.
He said that Hull came out with a statement, an official statement after the game, because the manager of Hull had said a security guard had told him to fuck off back to Bosnia.
Wow. Oh my God.
And then Birmingham came out with an official response about an hour later saying we've investigated it and found it not to be true.
Oh.
Which is pretty bold. And also, don't fuck with war criminals. Just don't go down that path.
Yeah.
You know, let them get the 3 points and get out of there.
It's not worth it in the long run.
Yeah, no, it's not. No, protect your bloodline.
Oh, quality. Right. Has anybody got anything they want to plug this week?
Flash scores, foot Audrey.
A few good plugs, to be fair. Actually, John, I've seen you've got another show coming up in the next few weeks, didn't you? I was looking at tickets.
Oh, they're monthly. Sorry, man. I think because it's a poetry / music / comedy sort of thing. I never really mention it on here.
To be fair, Jack takes us into so many places that's relatively normal.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, so you can give testing.ground.performance a go on Instagram. Tickets for our next show, which is Tuesday the 4th of November, are available through a link on there. So yeah, come and give us a look.
Fireworks the night before, fire balls that up there. Set the place on fire. No, sorry, that's also wrong. There's something there. I'll leave.
Jesus.
Yeah. Love it. Oh, right.
Oh, right. Have you been channeled by Sean Connery or something? Is it
Oh. Yeah, well, that seems like a good place to end. Stocky, are you about with us tomorrow on the pitch? Or are you at West Ham?
I'm not at West Ham.
Okay, so
I'm boycotting.
About 9:30, 10 o'clock tomorrow, the pitch will on Spurs Kings TV, and then the same for the Rivals Wednesdays, where I will be again. But if you don't catch us there, see you next Sunday, 9 p.m. Have a good week, people.
Easy.
See you in a bit.